Good morning. I finally came up with a title in the meditation room this morning. I got out of bed at 3:11, went into the meditation room and finally looked up at the clock. It was 3:22. Closed my eyes again. Next time I looked at the clock, it was 3:33. The next time it was 3:40. Just so that you know it wasn't going to be 3:44. All that nonsense, but I like double and triple numbers and quadruple numbers, and I think repetitive numbers to me are significant. They always indicate the presence of more, the presence of mastery. I could be wrong. That's my meaning. Anyway, the title that I came up with is "And God Created Contrast to be Very Good." Over the past several days especially, I have been thinking about co-creation and contrast. Specifically, do we create our own reality? And what does resonance and dissonance have to do with it? Yes, this latest wonderment for me was precipitated by the experience and emotions that came up in regard to my relating to my friend from Canada. However, the implications and revelations are much more than that. I still don't have all the pieces in place mentally or emotionally, yet it is quite interesting and more than a bit intriguing. Please don't think I'm giving anyone the answers. I don't have the answers. I'm only discovering my answers for now and sharing them with whoever chooses to ponder with me. Oh, I made the statement in the last video, which was actually done a couple of days ago, but the one that I showed yesterday, that we don't create our own reality. That, of course, is the limited mind speaking. That is the ego speaking. Because from the ego's point of view, it's absolute nonsense to think that I create my own reality. All of my life has taught me the exact opposite. That I cannot create my own reality, because the only way I could create my own reality is if I could control what everyone else was going to do in relation to me. And none of them could act or participate in my life without my consent. And obviously, I have not given my consent for some of the things that have happened. Not from my point of view, not from my mindset, not from my experiential knowing. I have not created my own reality. Many things, most things that have happened in my life seem to have been quite accidental. Now that's the reality of my experience. I'm not measuring it against some ideal or some belief system or some supposed maxim. I'm simply saying that's my experience. That's what I've encountered as a living soul having a human experience. A spiritual being having a human experience. That's what I've encountered. As a human being, I do not create my own reality. However, I am, as a human being, becoming more and more aware of other perspectives, shall we say, higher perspectives, from which, when I look at it from that point of view, that is, from the point of view of my soul, that is not limited and not bound by time and space, in other words, my eternal infinite being. When I look at it from that, I do create my own reality that I get to experience and to bring the experience to my finite being that is experiencing for me what it's like to live in a physical body. From that perspective, I create my own reality. But from this perspective, I don't create my own reality. Now, because from that perspective, I want this perspective to be able to experience all the possibilities. I have given the gift of contrast, and God created contrast to be very good. I have given the gift of contrast so that some things will resonate with this experience, with this being in a body, and some things will cause dissonance. They won't resonate at all. One of the things that I had to consider over the past few days is I had a friend from Daytona Beach, and I did not return his 2 telephone calls, who was really excited about some lady teacher, and I don't remember even her name at this point. And he wanted me to listen to her because it was just what he needed. He resonated so with it, and he wanted me to resonate with it too, so that I could give him feedback on what she was teaching. And I didn't resonate with her at all. She was one of those know-it-alls that comes with the attitude of I've got the answers, and this is what they are. Well, right now where I am in my life, that attitude causes dissonance. It's not what I'm learning at this level of my experience. It's not what I need for this class in this classroom that I have created for myself. So that attitude causes dissonance with me, and it's saying, not now, Ron. It might not be forever. And I want you to understand that there are no the answers. There are only our answers now based on what we are experiencing, and what we are experiencing now is what our soul has chosen for us to experience. The soul that does create our own reality, or our reality, our experience, it does create that for us, because we, in this limited mindset, are incapable, because we have chosen to play with less abilities, with limitations. We have chosen to live and experience the limitation of being in a physical body. And it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect that we've chosen that. And we've been given the gift of emotions or feelings so that we can either resonate with something or it causes dissonance. My friend in Canada, initially when she contacted me back in April, the middle of April, and we began to communicate. She had already resonated with my poetry, with things that I was doing on my videos. She hadn't seen all my videos, obviously, but she resonated with it because she projected onto me what she wanted, because she wanted and she needed someone that would resonate with her. Now, it's interesting, and I've pondered all of this going through it. See, all of these things are as lessons, because we're all just playing roles. None of us are right or wrong, really. We're just playing roles that have been created for us by our soul, our higher self, the God, the goddess. They have been created for us to experience, because contrast is very good. So I was willing to allow differences. I wasn't looking for somebody to resonate perfectly with me. I mean, in some things, of course. I didn't want somebody in total dissonance. But there were things that about her situation, including her cat. I don't like living with animals in my house. I really don't, but I was willing to. I was willing to. And her diet is different than my diet. I was willing to have some changes in my diet. I was willing to make some sacrifices. But there were certain things that challenged me. And I expressed those things, and she took that as negative because she wants to resonate with someone that is like her, because she tries to see everything from a positive perspective. I look at both sides, and I think that's very positive. I'm not trying to eliminate the negative. I remember a lady once that I was involved with for a very short time, and she says, you know, since I've been with you, my life is going to hell. I mean, you've brought so much negativity into my life, it's not funny. And again, she wanted someone that would make her feel good only. And something that I wasn't even aware of was triggering her not feeling good. And so for her, there was a dissonance, and she backed off. And it's okay. But I didn't learn the lesson then. I was too stupid and too naive and too ignorant to see what was happening. And most of my life, I've been too ignorant to see what's happening. But there's an awakening going on now in 2011, 2012, 2013, since I've been doing these videos. It's actually been going on longer than that. And we're starting to be able to see more and more from the higher perspective. But what's happening with some people is they're trying to throw away the lower perspective. And to me, that doesn't resonate with me, that idea. But some people, that's where they are. That's where they're resonating. They want they still think that they can become better or more whole by rejecting parts of themselves or parts of life that they don't like and they don't want. So they push those away. They choose to put their head in the sand or up their butt. That's where they are. That's their consciousness. I don't choose to have that consciousness, and more of us, I think, are not choosing to have that consciousness. We're choosing to try our best to look at the bigger picture, and in order to do that, we have to give up the idea that we have the answers. And that's why when any teacher comes along that's talking like, this is the way it is, I don't resonate anymore, at least not at this time. I'm not resonating with that, again, because I'm in a place where I'm letting everything be challenged, where I'm in a place of not knowing. And that's a wonderful place. And it's very good. It doesn't feel very good sometimes because there's still a part of me that wants to resonate with everything and wants to feel like I'm in control and like I really am creating my own reality from my mind, from my human experience. But I'm not. You see, I'm not. And that's why I make blanket statements. We do not create our own reality. Again, that's from the human perspective. I want you to see that. And I want you to understand and to get it, if you will, if you're willing to. I want you to get that from the human perspective, things are not all there. All the puzzle pieces are not all there. And part of our challenge is to find the missing pieces and allow them to be put in place. And our guidance system in doing this that has been provided by our soul is the contrast of resonance and dissonance, of light and darkness, of masculine and feminine, of positive and negative. It's all good. It's only bad when we don't connect the higher and the lower and allow the divine marriage to take place within our being. When the more we allow that marriage of the higher and the lower, the masculine and the feminine within ourselves, the more resonance we will find, the more synchronicities we will find, and we will be able to see that polarity and duality are very, very wonderful, very, very good. They are not evil and bad. They are merely tools of instruction to teach us how we are, who we are, what we are. We are the co-creators with God, and we are divine. But our divinity is not fully revealed until we can embrace our humanity in the presence of divinity without feeling shamed by it, without feeling guilty, and to rise above all of the BS that we've been propagating on ourselves with religions and with all sorts of other philosophical overlays that lie to us and tells us it's just an illusion. No, it's our creation. Our creation's not an illusion. It's our experiential reality. You see, everything has been turned inside out and upside down. And it's being turned inside out and upside down again. This is the enantiodromia, the reverse flow of energy. Everything is flowing now from polarization to unity. And it's a beautiful thing. And God created contrast to be very good. And we're starting to get it. We're starting to get it. If you're not there yet and you don't resonate, well, you're just not resonating right now because you're learning something else. So let it go. You don't have to ponder it at all if that's not where you are. But many of us are choosing to come together and to allow the contrast between us to be a blessing and not a curse. Thank you for listening. Yes, thank you. Namaste.